When rainbows chase you, the art of not letting setbacks set you all the way back. You know that moment when life knocks you flat on your back and you're lying there wondering if you'll ever get up again? Yeah, that moment. The one where betrayal tastes bitter, heartbreak feels permanent, and the cape you've been wearing for everyone else suddenly weighs 1,000 pounds. That moment when you're not sure if you're strong enough to survive this one. I recently had the privilege of sitting down with Jennifer Selver, a woman whose life has been a masterclass in resilience, faith, and refusing to let setbacks write the final chapter. Jennifer's making the world a better place by showing high achieving women everywhere that perseverance isn't about pretending the pain doesn't exist. It's about trusting that God's got you, even when everything feels like it's falling apart. She's walking proof that you can survive earth shattering heartbreak, betrayal, and backstabbers and still see rainbows through the clouds. Her message, simple but revolutionary. She said, I would love to talk about not letting setbacks set you all the way back. Not all the way back. Let that settle for a second, because that's the difference between surviving and thriving, between staying stuck and stepping forward, between letting pain define you and letting it refine you instead. Jennifer shared three powerful truths with me during our conversation, and I want to unpack them with you today. First, faith is your anchor in the storm. Trusting Jesus turns heartbreak into a testimony. Second, resilience is a choice, not a feeling. Betrayal stings, but you pick yourself up every time. And third, rainbows follow the rain. Setbacks are setups for comebacks. So keep your eyes on the promise. These aren't just pretty words to cross stitch on a pillow. These are survival strategies. These are the principles that have carried some of the most iconic Black women through their darkest hours and into their greatest victories. And Jennifer brought receipts, sharing three powerful stories of women who embody this not all the way back energy. Let me walk you through them. First, Oprah Winfrey, born into poverty in rural Mississippi. Oprah faced childhood sexual abuse starting at age 9, ran away at 14, gave birth prematurely to a baby who died, and then got fired from her first TV job in Baltimore at 23 because she was deemed unfit for television. Unfit. Can you imagine? The woman who would go on to build a $2.5 billion empire was told she wasn't good enough for local news. But here's what Oprah did: she leaned on her Christian faith for strength. She pursued education at Tennessee State University. She relentlessly networked in media. She prayed through it all. And in 1986, she launched The Oprah Winfrey Show, which became the highest rated daytime talk show in history. She founded Harpo Productions and the OWN Network. She inspired millions of Black women to claim their power, normalizing faith driven resilience in entertainment and philanthropy. Oprah didn't let her setbacks set her all the way back. She let them set her up. She took the rejection, the abuse, the loss, and she transformed it into a platform that would reach millions. She didn't pretend it didn't hurt. She didn't bypass the grief, but she refused to let it have the final word. And that refusal, that choice to keep moving forward, changed the trajectory of her entire life. Next, Serena Williams. Tennis legend from Compton, California, Serena grew up practicing on cracked courts amid drive by shootings. She faced racial slurs and biased umpiring throughout her career. And in 2017, after giving birth to her daughter, she suffered a pulmonary embolism that nearly killed her. Nearly. The doctors told her she was in critical condition. Her body was shutting down. But Serena deepened her reliance on faith and family support. She engaged in rigorous mental conditioning. She advocated for Black women in sports. And you know what she did? She returned to win the 2017 Australian Open while pregnant and secured 23 Grand Slam titles despite it all. She launched Serena Ventures, investing in diverse founders. She redefined Black excellence in sports. empowering women to bounce back from health and bias setbacks with unshakable faith and grit. Serena didn't let her setbacks set her all the way back. She let them fuel her fire. She could have retired. She could have said, "Whoa, I've done enough." But she didn't. She chose to keep playing. She chose to keep believing. She chose to keep trusting that her purpose was bigger than her pain. And in doing so, she became a beacon of hope for every woman who's ever been told she's too much or not enough. And then there's Alicia Keys. Born and raised in Hell's Kitchen, New York, Alicia grew up with an absent father. At 16, she signed an exploitative deal with J Records that stole her master's in publishing, a betrayal that crushed her. She battled alopecia and self image issues. But Alicia embraced spiritual practices and therapy. She went makeup free at the 2016 VMAs to reclaim her narrative. She focused on songwriting as therapy, and she won 15 Grammys. She built AK Records for artist empowerment. Her debut album, Songs in a Minor, sold over 12 million copies. She sparked the global no makeup movement and launched Keys Soul Care brand. Alicia didn't let her setbacks set her all the way back. She let them lead her to authenticity. She took the betrayal, the insecurity, the abandonment, and she turned it into art. She turned it into advocacy. She turned it into a movement that gave millions of women permission to show up as they are. No filters, no pretense, just raw, beautiful truth. Now, here's what Jennifer Selver wants you to understand. These women, Oprah, Serena, Alicia, they're not superhuman, they're human. They felt the pain, they cried the tears, they questioned God, they wondered if they'd make it, but they made a choice. They chose faith as their anchor. They chose resilience as a daily practice. They chose to keep their eyes on the rainbows even when the storm was raging. And that's what Jennifer is inviting you to do. Not to pretend the setback didn't happen, not to bypass the grief or the anger or the sadness, but to refuse to let it have the final word. Because here's the thing about setbacks. They're loud, they're disruptive, they demand your attention. And if you're not careful, they'll convince you that they're permanent, that this is your new normal, that you'll never recover, that you'll never be whole again, that you'll never trust again, that you'll never dream again. But that's a lie. Setbacks are temporary. Your faith is permanent. Your resilience is permanent. Your purpose is permanent. And the rainbows, they're coming. They're already on the way. Jennifer shared something with me that I can't stop thinking about. She said, which I word, I trusted Jesus with my life, and he has taken me on a roller coaster of surprises, sadness, excitement, amazement, anger, and gladness. I have been able to persevere through earth shattering heartbreak, betrayal, and backstabbers. Yet I still see the rainbows through the clouds. Still, she still sees them. Not because the clouds disappeared, not because the betrayal didn't hurt, not because the heartbreak wasn't real, but because she chose to keep looking. And that's the shift. That's the soft girl era energy. It's not about being unaffected. It's about being unmoved by what tries to move you off your foundation. It's about being soft enough to feel it all and strong enough to keep going anyway. It's about releasing the cape, redefining strength, and embracing the healing that comes when you stop trying to be invincible and start trusting that God's got you. So, what does this look like practically? Jennifer gave us a challenge, and I'm passing it on to you. The next time you face a setback, pause. Just pause. Don't react. Don't spiral. Don't make decisions from that place. Pause and then pray, Jesus, I trust you. Say it out loud. Say it until you feel it. Say it until it anchors you. Then journal one rainbow you're already seeing, just one. Maybe it's a friend who showed up. Maybe it's a lesson you learned. Maybe it's the fact that you're still here, still breathing. still believing. Write it down because gratitude shifts perspective and perspective shifts everything. And then take one bold step forward, not 10, not 100, just one. Maybe it's setting a boundary. Maybe it's saying no without guilt. Maybe it's resting without explanation. Maybe it's forgiving yourself. Maybe it's trying again, just one step. Because forward is forward, no matter how small. Jennifer wants you to feel something specific during and after this conversation. She wants you feeling that childlike joy bubbling up, excited, hopeful, fiercely unstoppable, like rainbows are chasing you. Not because life got easier, but because you got softer, you got wiser, you got freer. And here's what I know about the women listening to this: you've been strong for so long. You've led teams, you've raised families, you've held down households, you've carried communities, you've survived trauma, you've healed from abuse, you've navigated grief, you've battled betrayal, you've done it all. And you're tired. But tired doesn't mean done. Tired means it's time to rest, time to release, time to redefine, time to step into your soft girl era where softness is not weakness. It's a radical act of self love, where saying no is not selfish, it's sacred, where resting is not lazy, it's necessary, where healing is not optional, it's essential. Jennifer Selver is living proof that setbacks don't have to set you all the way back. That faith can turn heartbreak into testimony. That resilience is a choice you make every single day. That rainbows follow the rain if you just keep your eyes open. So here's my question for you: what setback are you holding on to right now? What betrayal, what heartbreak, what disappointment, what failure, what loss? And what would it look like to not let it set you all the way back? What would it look like to pause, pray, journal, and take one bold step forward? Because the world needs you. Not the version of you that's pretending to be fine, not the version that's wearing the cape, not the version that's hustling to prove your worth. The world needs the real you, the soft you, the healed you, the whole you, the you that sees rainbows through the clouds. Jennifer Selver is making the world a better place by reminding us that we don't have to carry it all, that we don't have to be strong all the time, that we can trust Jesus with the roller coaster, that we can persevere through the heartbreak, that we can still see the rainbows, and so can you. I want to leave you with this: setbacks are inevitable, they're part of the human experience, but what you do with them, that's where your power lives. You can let them define you, or you can let them refine you. You can let them break you, or you can let them make you. You can let them stop you, or you can let them propel you forward. The choice is yours. And I'm here to tell you that you don't have to make that choice alone. You have a faith that anchors you, you have a resilience that strengthens you. You have a purpose that calls you, and you have a God who sees you, who loves you, who's rooting for you, even when you can't see the way forward. So the next time life knocks you down, you remember Oprah, remember Serena, remember Alicia, remember Jennifer, remember every woman who's ever faced a setback and decided it wouldn't set her all the way back. And then remember yourself. Remember your strength. Remember your faith. Remember your resilience. Remember your rainbows because they're coming. They're already on the way. And when they arrive, you'll realize that the storm was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to prepare you, to position you, to propel you into the next chapter of your story. So don't let setbacks set you all the way back. Let them set you up. Let them fuel your fire. Let them lead you to authenticity. Let them remind you that you're not done yet, that your story isn't over, that your best days are still ahead. And when you're ready, when you've paused and prayed and journaled and taken that one bold step forward, I want you to do one more thing. I want you to look up. Look up at the sky, look up at the clouds, and watch for the rainbows because they're there. They've always been there. You just have to keep your eyes open.